What's Gucci, guys?
What's up?
What's Gucci, gang? What type actually takes a
You're
actually
kind of
takes?
low.
Hear myself in the background. I'm like, what type actually takes a shit? It's like, Ross, we don't want to know what types takes a shit. We don't want to talk about such things. Like, come on, man. Why are you so nasty?
I agree.
The fuck? Oh my god. Okay, yeah. How's everyone? How are you guys? When you're playing Disco Elysium, Disco Elysium. I've seen Disco Elysium. Isn't it like a detective game? Like some up down game. Why is sexual 2 not intelligent? You hit me with vicious questions. Why is the sexual 2 a dumb motherfucker? That's brutal. And that's not nice for them to be not that smart. No, but on a serious note, there's you cannot really ask why is sexual 2 not intelligent? You can't. Because I can find you sexual 2s with IQ of 140. It's not a question of why they're not intelligent. It's a question of why they're not intellectual. Do you understand? There's a difference. Okay, so why is sexual 2 so divorced from intellectualism? That's a better question. But not that they're not intelligent. You can be intelligent, yet divorced from the intellectualism. It's not uncommon. With the sexual 2, the thing is that they're completely driven by emotion. Emotion overrides reason. Emotion overrides rationality. In fact, the sexual 2 is more anti intellectual than the Enneagram 8 and the Enneagram 9. Right? So that's why. It's not that they're not intelligent, it's simply that they are primarily driven by emotion and they filter reality through emotional lens. Obviously, that then detaches you from intellectualism. That's all it is. Uh, yeah. Elysium is a detective game, but it's mostly about interacting with people around the area. I'd probably fall asleep, realistically speaking, I looked at it, by the way. I did look at the gameplay, and I'm like, okay, it looks cool, looks new. I didn't play this kind of game, so I'll give it a try. Maybe didn't actually do it because I watched more gameplay, and it looked way too slow paced. It looked
Look,
way
chat,
too.
we're gonna be real with you, okay? Our neurons, synapses, fried, destroyed. We have no attention span. No way, okay? We gotta read. We gotta have non-action sequences. We can't do that anymore, okay?
We
The
can
world broke us.
we it's true, our shit's been broken, and we're older, so our shit's been broken for years now. I cannot, if you think I'm gonna sit and play a game where it requires me to kind of like have an attention span of a functional human being, it's not gonna work. I need constant action, then I feel alive, right? People yelling at me, cursing at me in the chat. Although I feel like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like that's how I know I've grown a lot. I've disconnected from my neurosis. I don't like it anymore. I used to play CSGO, I was flaming everyone. I loved it. That, how there is like, you play eight rounds in CSGO. Remember that, guys? 8 rounds in the CSGO, and then it's the timeout, and it's 15 seconds where both teams can talk to each other via fucking microphone. I used to flame them, you motherfucker, because they tried to talk shit to us in the chat. So I'm like, let's do it. But to me, it was fucking entertainment. I like that shit. That's why I played those games. I played those games to flame people and get flamed. That's why I did it. Now I'm 29. I don't want to do it. I don't know what happened to me. I don't want to flame anyone. I don't want to flame people. Because it's kind of like, do I really? I'm too tired, you know? Like, I'm too old and too fucking tired to get in a fucking argument with someone now. But back then, I loved that shit. Oh my god, man. Argument? Sign me up, you know? So, fuck. Okay. How can a sexual tool grow? I mean, I would say by disconnecting themselves from. I'm kidding. But a sexual tool can grow by probably understanding that it's not all about giving to get. It's not all about impacting other people, making them feel good, seducing them in order to feed your own ego and your own sense of self-importance. It's to see the trap that you're falling into, you know, like to see your behaviors. Okay, you know, I am kind of doing all of those things to be needed, to be desired, to have this great impact. And why am I doing this? To be loved, to be worshipped, you know, circle jerked like a fucking, you know. And once you understand the pattern, you need to find love in yourself. You know, you need to find value in yourself. How you do that shit, I don't know. That's beyond me. I'm not sexual too. I don't know. Well, at least, well, I am a sexual too, obviously, right? But yeah, whatever. Is the sexual IEI sexual 7 a thing for you? I mean, I'm open to it. You know, I'm open to it, you know.
Man, the times have changed for sure.
Man, what about you, Ring? What do you think about this combination, Ring?
What I really think is that if you can give me a very valid subject and you can give me a nice typology analysis, an Enneagram individually,
Right.
if you can give me a PY analysis individually, you can give me a socionics analysis individually, and you can see that you use the same personality constructs to explain all three, I'd be happy to accept this was your answer. Because innately, there isn't so much of a big change. It's not like we're looking at IEI, you know, social one or something,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that
yeah.
feels like a little weird, right? But you know what? I'm a Enneagram correlation moderate, so I'm down with it. I think that if you can make a point in case for it, let's see it. And also, guys, this is the conservation, self-preservation instinct analysis podcast, and so far we got like 3 sexual instinct like examples. Y'all want to do sexual instinct? We can, you know? But we don't want you conservation, self-preservation instincts to miss out.
The truth is, people will ask whatever the fuck they want to ask.
I think we're pretty good. I think when we have the titles, it does shape the
It does
conversation.
shape the
I
conversation,
really.
but most people they are here to ask questions about themselves or something related. They're not here to fucking SP9s, you know. But
I know this is like half joke, but Ricker says in the chat that the SP is the boring one. I do not think so.
I know. Yeah, of course you don't think so because that was your idea, guys. By the way, this stream, the name of the stream was his idea. He came up with this fucking idea. So, no, he doesn't think that SP is a boring instinct. But which, by the way, leads us to this question, SP related question. You can answer this one. Ring. Hello? Guys, am I tripping? Or is he tripping?
Hello?
Hello, what happened?
You just stop hearing me.
Okay, well, I was asking you about this question. Well,
Yeah, I see it.
how
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Have you seen the SP7? Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely, actually. Because remember, the way it works is that the Enneagram, it's the passion, the type invades the instinct. It's not the instinct that invades the Enneatype. So when you put E7 into the self-preservation instinct, you have someone who feels that they're going to survive, that they're going to overcome, that they're going to thrive even if they can ensure their gluttony. And if their gluttony has a counterproductive relationship with some of their financial security, I can easily see it go that way. So for sure. I mean, they wouldn't like it. It won't be a haha, you know. I think they would be like frustrated to not have both, but I can easily see that happening, especially in unhealthy examples.
Thank you. What is this IE social 3 thing? It's just a take people have, you know. Guys, by the way, the video I made about the correlations, like the type watch. Remember, guys, one thing about the type watch: the type watch does not tell you what you should believe in. The type watch is simply an information series that tells you about the changes that are happening within the community. That doesn't mean that's the like accepted universal correlations. It's more like people are talking about that more, and more people are jumping on the bandwagons. So the IE Social 3, is that like a hyper accepted take? No, but it became more popular as the talk of the town in the last month. But I'm not here trying to really decide about correlations so specifically. I take a more passive approach to correlations, to be honest. And LIE Social 3, listen, there are many typed LIE Social 3s, but Ring did point out many times how LIE doesn't really fit Social 3 in many ways. So there's that too. But again, yeah.
No, I was gonna say, even on top of that, if you have a good example of an LIE who also happens to fit Social 3, who happens to fit a certain PY, I'm open to it. You know? I think that the same thing happened to EIE and Social 2. The same thing happened with LIE and Social 3, is that both Social 3 and Social 2 had many, many static elements built into it. And at some point, you had to choose either I'm going to accept the dynamic aspects of it or the static ones. And we can see a whole kind of correlation meta built off of who decides what. You know, if you chose the dynamic elements, well, guess what? Now EIE is social 2 and LIE is social 3. But if you chose the static elements, now IEE is social 3 and then SEE is social 2. Do you see the paradigm? Do you see like the conundrum? The reality is these Enneagram types have both static and both dynamic elements to it. And you can see the same thing perfectly said in Social 7, where it's dynamic and static. So that's really where this divide is coming from. But I just wanted to add that.
Thank you. Let's keep going forward. Why did LIE Self-Preservation 7 disappear? And what would that mean for a character like Thomas Shelby? Well, you'd need to assume that Thomas Shelby even is an LIE. And then you'd need to explain how he's FE plus role. I think that would be pretty difficult for this Sigma brooding male who's melancholic to be positivistic, upbeat type. But yeah, okay. But I think he might still be SP7. To be honest with you, when I was reading the SP7 book, kind of makes sense, right? He provides for the family. He's scheming, manipulative. He fits the stereotype, but it is very family oriented. The mafia, right? The mafia. So I think it works with Thomas. What do you think about Thomas Shelby as an LIE SP7 Ring?
You know, for a very, very, very long time, I thought Thomas Shelby was an LIE. And I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to do a rewatch because it's one of my favorite shows of all time. I'm not going to see what he's really typed as. But when I was into more Western socionics, I was definitely like on the PDB page when we started having socionics added. Like you could do the little socionics typings. I was one of the first people to make an argument for LIE for him. I'm probably one of the big reasons actually why there's such a huge LIE consensus right now, but I'm not 100% sure. Um, do I think, is he some IEE or ILE SP7 currently? No, I'm not gonna go down the correlation route. Do I think that he's third volition? I don't think so either. Like I don't think I would say that he's probably a first volition. I think that he's probably a logical type, and I think dynamic over static because he's someone who tells people how to do things and manipulates them through that than actually necessarily doing those things himself. So probably a dynamic logical type with first volition is all I really have. I have no clue his Enneagram type. I have no clue at all. It's just he kind of is all over the place when it comes to there. Is he an SP3? Is he a social one? Is he some sort of E7? No clue. I'll rewatch it. I'll let you guys know what I think.
I will now rewatch it, by the way, guys. June, what do hard SP types have in common? All the hard types have social bent to them.
Our
So how
SP
do you
types.
identify them?
Ooh, this is a good question. Of course, it's from June. We get some nice like secondary, tertiary type understanding type questions.
Yeah.
So what we're really talking about here is the SP2, the SP3, and the SP4. You're going to see that every single one of these types, they have this fixation with intertwining um, providing services, being of a assistance to others, being part of the tribe, and living up to their standards. While also by providing those that image itself, right? They're going to be provided safety, insurance, being part of the tribe, and you're going to see all that with them. SP3, I'm going to be this efficient, pragmatic, planning, long-term solutions expert, which everyone, just one-to-ones with LIE for a good reason. But yeah, it's like I'm a sufficient guru. And what he provides to the tribe is being this problem solver that's good organizer and he's kind of future oriented. Then guess what? If he provides that, well, I don't want to make a gender thing. If they provide that, they're going to have a safe place in the tribe. SP4, very similar. In fact, many people say that SP4 and SP3, if you don't get to know them, actually come across in very similar ways. They have their own ideal. They want to push against envy. They don't want to feel envy. They work hard. They live up to their own standards. They become of service to others, not dissimilar of the social nine even. And they kind of min-max being like this pragmatic grounded person who can provide services to others while also having a connection to the tribe and being accepted. Being accepted is kind of huge for all the shame types, but in particular in the way there's like this pragmatic acceptance that all the SP heart types are going to do. SP2s, they feel afraid of their capabilities. They don't know if people are going to love them in that way, So they vacillate between being this person who's a caretaker, who's a nurturer, who can provide that experience, who has a friendly, enthusiastic personality, but also is someone who wants to be provided for, someone who wants to be taken care of as well, and kind of plays between those two roles. So you can see all of them kind of want acceptance, they want love, but they do it in a way where they're in the survival, pragmatic, grounded territory. I think that's what you have really in common. It's like the combination of wanting acceptance and wanting to survive, literally. Oh, then you asked how do you identify them? It's tough. You can even mistype them for each other sometimes. But generally look for the person in the group that's going to be willing to make sacrifices to show that they have what it takes to like be part of your group, who has the skills, who puts forward, oh, I'm gonna help you out with this. Oh, I can do this errand. Oh, you need help with that chore. Oh, I see you need help with your homework. Oh, you're having a tech issue. Oh, I know exactly how to solve that. SP2s, SP3s, and SP4s all come across like problem solvers, and they stretch themselves
There's I would
thin
say
for that.
there's almost a focus on competency that you
Yes,
can
I would
notice in
easily
the
say that.
conservation
Hmm.
subtypes. So that's great insights. Let's go further. Um, how do you know? How do you know if you're SP blind? Asks Viryu.
How do you know? You're not afraid to die. You would take a bullet to your
Wow.
head. You don't really need to eat anymore. You see like human life as like being basic. You've transcended.
Damn. Okay. Maybe I'm reconsidering my types then. Yeah. Damn. Is that's what it
Yeah,
takes to
me
be
too.
SP
I'm kind of
blind?
grounded. Based off what I said, I might have to retype. I
SP
think I
blind?
care a little bit more
Okay, so
for
wait, you're saying
stability.
you're not gonna put your life at a risky situation that could possibly decapitate your motherfucking ass? Sorry? You're not SP blind. But on a serious note, it's weird. Because for me, I was reflecting upon this recently. I'm like, do I neglect security, stability, and everything to the point like where it's like, yo, fucking zero, And I'm like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But if my understanding of SP blind would be neglect, like neglecting of your security, not paying attention to it, um, like if you're thinking of an 8 core, I feel like a great example of an 8 core. Well, people disagree, but if you watch Titanic, uh, Naranjo typed Jack Dawson as a social 8, right? And if you look at him as an 8, that would be an example of a self-preservation blind. So this guy lives just free spirit, right? Lives on gets on the fucking Titanic, doesn't even have a place to stay, just goes from place to place, taking bets, and then got the ticket on the Titanic. Lives completely freely. That's like the most extreme version, caricature of the SP blind instinct. Like for example, in the 8 core. I know you're an 8, so that's why I'm kind of using that example. Now, Ring, do you have a better, yeah? I mean, the guy, it's kind of scary. The dude had no fucking place to go, but he was chilling. He was so adaptable in every situation. You know, a true free spirit. Damn.
Yeah, I've noticed when it comes to being like a blind of anything, what really occurs is that you have a kind of normal relationship with things in that instinct. When it's in the blind, you just deprioritize it. So I mean, yeah, you could have moments where you're missing opportunities in it, you're missing like situations that you probably can better yourself in there. But it's like the almost the exact opposite of it being your dominant, where it's like you overemphasize it. You to think about it too much. It's like you live and breathe it. You know? So whenever I think of an SP blind, I think of a person who has a pretty normal relationship with like survival, materialism, resources, staying
But
alive,
if they have a normal relationship with it, why are they SP blind?
I'm almost there. So they have a normal relationship with it, but you're going to notice that they end up putting it to the back burner. There's going to be situations where it's not an SP situation like going out in the middle of the night to spend time with, say if you're an SX dominant, and you're an SP blind, going out in the middle of the city, middle of the night, just to be with that one person that you know is going to just, connect with you. You can merge with them. But guess what? You have to go to like a shitty part of town to do it. And SP blind's more likely to do that because they're a little bit less afraid of the physical repercussions of doing so. You won't see them become neurotic in a survival situation as much. Of course, everyone would be if their life was in danger, but they're willing to take those type of risks, especially for the sake of their dominant. So that's an example of like, someone who, because that's what it is at the end of the day. You're just not thinking about it. And when you do, it is like a D priority as well.
Thank you.
No problem.
Wait, you type as two different things, right? Like just instinctual
Yeah.
variants and then the subtypes, right?
Yeah, so if I go by the Naranjo way to find your instinct, your instinctual variant is to go by your first and second subtype in modern Enneagram. So let's say you are a SP9, right? To figure out what is your instinctual variant, you would just be like, okay, if I'm SP9 first, then if I wasn't an SP9, I'd probably be a sexual 9. And by that, you would be a social blind because social 9 would be your least, picked. So in Naranjo itself, you would be typed as an SP9 SPSO, because oh sorry, SPSX. Because you wouldn't type as SO second. And it's really simple in Naranjo. However, instinctual variance is kind of like a system upon itself
Yeah, right.
where all of them have different attitudes. They're like placements, just kind of like in PY. Your dominant instinct is the one you hyperfixate on, always kind of think about. It kind of leads your life and you overcompensate with it. And you're really neurotic with it. Your secondary is the one you kind of have fun with. You use it in interesting ways. It can be something you do for fun, but sometimes you don't think about it too much. But I would say that it's more like a hobby rather than an obsession. Your blind is the one that you just kind of forego. You forget about it at times. I would say it's not dissimilar to a fourth placement in PY, where like when you do it, it doesn't seem like awful, but you tend to neglect it, especially for the other things. Like for example, a social dominant, right? SP blind person would probably want to ensure their connections and control over their connections, even with their surrounding groups, their relationships. They tend to go overboard to ensure that their place in that social systems, maybe even social hierarchy, isn't disturbed. And by doing so, maybe they're SP blind. They're more willing to forego or give away with money, experiences in that way. Um, Hand over resources just to ensure that they have that type of connection with other people. Um, I can see it also, same example, you have that social instinct person, very neurotic, right? They just want to control their social experience, but they're sexual blind this time. I can see this person not going 100% into their hobbies, into what they like to do, into the things that really make them feel alive, intensify their life, and focus on what other people like and other people want and other people want to do, because that allows them to have control over their social relationships, even though it neglects their sexual life, their sexual instinct life. So you can see how like you are is someone who's neurotic and fixated in one place and is willing to make um compromises when it comes to their blind spot. But their blind spot can be generally the big trait about the blind spot is that you end up in these suboptimal situations with it because you're just not focused on it. And you're willing to make sacrifices in it more than anything else. So I would say that in Naranjo, I'm social 7, right? So social 7, and I think the E7 I'd be second would be the self-preservation 7.
Mm.
Um,
All
but
right.
by itself, I can see situations where I would be either SOSX or SOSP, depending on the way you would see that system. Personally, I think I'm SOSX.
Okay. I mean, makes sense. Makes sense. Interesting. Interesting. I'll type. Once the book drops, the 8 book drops, I'm gonna type my instinctuals according to the book. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah,
So,
I
so
mean,
Cosmic said in the chat, so SX dominant could be a need to pursue your hobbies and interest above all else. I would say that that's part of it. We can even break it down to its core essence. The sexual instinct individual, it is driven by the feeling that they get that the world can provide for them in any way. It could be a relationship, could be an activity, could be a person, could be art, could be music, could be just their job even. I know, weird, right? It's not just the SPs, but anything that makes them feel alive, makes them feel tuned into the moment, makes them feel connected. They thrive off of that.
mm,
And that hobbies are part of it. And you're gonna see the best way to identify sexual instincts is that when they're into something, they're like deep, deep in that shit. They'll only talk about that. They'll live and love that shit, right? But everything else that they like, even things that they liked before, seem to be deprioritized in that moment that they're fixated. Honestly, it's kind of similar to autism. You know how in autism there's like a big fixation about what your current
God
hobby
dang,
is, and like
god
yeah, and
dang.
when you're really
You went
into it,
deep with
yeah.
it. You tried to get cancelled. You were talking for 20 minutes.
No,
You
it's
tried to get
not. It's
cancelled.
not autism.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
it's not
Listen, I respect the
autism.
grind. It's called the cancel speedrun. Don't worry, you fall, I fall too. We fall both. But I'm used to that, you know.
I'm
An
using
attempt at
respectfully.
cancellation, I'm used to it. You ain't.
All
But
right, all right.
yeah,
You get my drift, boys.
yeah, of course we do. We do. Let's proceed. I'm trying to. Okay, I love your channel, base social. Cringe nightmare. So already your name is a red flag, and you your name is a red flag. You know what I'm saying? Like some guy who says I fart at night. That's his nickname. I fart at night. That's a potential decapitation just because of the name, because it gives trolly vibes and people see it. You might not be a troll, but it gives this weird vibes. But you were saying I love your channel. Could I please get unbanned from your funny? You got banned from what I remember for pretty posting some weird shit, like severely weird shit that went against the rules. So you got banned. I mean, it wasn't even me who banned you, as far as I know. Someone else, as it usually goes. But there's no reason to unban anyone. Sorry. Guys, fuck. If you are on the server, it's a simple thing. Listen. with all due respect to everybody, if you join my community, you join server, you have to be respectful to the rules set by the community, but also, the joking and kind of the meme shit, like having, how some people they think it's funny, like they make jokes. The community, we don't really, we don't find it funny, and we
Yeah,
have
I agree.
guidelines against that. So, I mean, it's just for the, if we allow everyone to post weird stuff, like very weird stuff, okay, like pictures and shit, it's gonna invite more people who are that way and keep more post, makes people think they are allowed to do that shit. That only will lower the
Based.
quality of the environment for the people who are trying to enjoy a higher quality conversations. It will turn people off because they'll join the server, see that shit, be like, wow, that's not for me. That's what we don't want. That we don't want that. I mean, we want to have a mature fucking audience, like a mature environment. And if you're more of a joker, I think maybe it's just another server is good for you. But that's kind of my own take on that. How Avarice works on the SP instinct in a nutshell, like as an SP5.
Mm-hmm. Did you want to go, or do you want me to go?
You can go. I don't give a dude. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't give two fucks about. I'll be honest with you, okay? This SP shit, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you guys can have this conversation, Like, so ring, take the ring.
What do you mean? You want to swap the topic? We can swap the topic.
I don't need to swap the topic. It's just like, to me, specific instinctual variant discussions, they're boring because it's just one instinct. There's no freedom of different exploring of like exploration of different topics. It's just one instinct. So that's my take. But we should do it because one instinct means people are more fixated and they get the attention they deserve. So answer the question.
Maybe we can do the social instinct next time and have a 3-hour
No.
conversation on
I
it.
don't even want the social instinct. No. I don't even want the social instinct.
All right, so how Avarice works on the SP instinct in a nutshell, SP5. You are looking at the motherfucker who wants to make the caves, okay? E5s, they want to make the caves, and the reason why they want to have this safe haven is because they feel like life is going to overwhelm them, that they were born without the necessary amount of resources and life essence even to be able to survive. So they became very stingy, very selfish, very greedy. And that's where avarice really comes from because they are hoarders. They hoard their life essence, they hoard their resources. So when you see avarice invade the self-preservation instinct, you almost get a double whammy of someone who has such huge walls up. You have someone that is doubling down on making the cave. It's not just having the cave, but having these type of social connections like the social vibe does. It's not having the cave be somebody else who they can idealize. The SP5 is the most concrete version of making the cave. It's someone who is going to hoard resources, hoard
by the
knowledge.
cave, he means a basement.
Yeah.
Don't think he's like, no, it's a basement. It's a basement. The dude has a PC set up, everything. Piss bucket. He has a piss bucket, so he doesn't need to. That's the SP5. Piss bucket. Make the fridge doesn't eat, which is fine, right?
Yeah.
No food, no need for food, but has some snacks, some shit snacks on the side just in case he needs to eat. That's the castle. That's what it means. It's a piss bucket and it's a cave.
It's really funny because all E5s are kind of like this. When people say, "Oh, E5 avarice," they're greedy. They're so greedy that E5s, especially social fives and sexual fives, they don't even feed themselves. They don't want to go out of their way, get food for themselves. They're so greedy with their just life essence that they won't do things that would provide for their life essence.
Exactly.
And you E5s out there could validate
the 5 core is already dog shit.
Yeah.
So, they're already low energy type.
The SP5 generally has a stronger relationship with sustaining themselves, but it's not that great either. They're still very low energy. But yeah, SP5s will probably have like the snacking situation. But the E5s are just they're strange because the people see them, like SP5 especially, people see it as like, oh, that's just SP9
Yeah, they're
intellectual.
not the same though. They're not the same
They're not the
because the
same.
SP9, the truth is, the SP9 is the true sensoric type. The SP5 isn't. Yes, it's a piss bucket caveman, but that's it. Like, how many nerds have you seen that have that lifestyle? The typical nerd, like really, like like detached, has autism, and has his piss bucket. How many? It's common. It's very common, right? It's not this. You would never look at him and be like, is that an SP9? No. The SP9 at the end of the day is much more fucking physically oriented. That's a gut type, you know. So and SP5 is way more passive, way more fucking passive, docile. SP9 passive until it isn't, because you step too close, you get elbow right in the face. Like Dylan, what's the guy? The fucking guy from Walking Dead. You know, the SP9 Chadwick. That's the SP9. Okay, that's the SP9. Anyway, let's see. There's so many fucking questions. Let's fucking go. Oh my god. Okay, would you consider every SP type inherently selfish? I would say no, because hot take, I wouldn't even consider someone being an SP type just because someone's SP type means they're not as selfish. Like, okay,
Yeah.
My friend, I have an SP8. We have an SP8 friend in our inner circle, in our group. Right? And he is, I'm not lying, he's probably the most generous person that I have ever, like, known. An SP8, a type that's known like, oh, right, oh my god, greed. No, the most generous. In fact, that's how he shows he cares. You know, he'll give you shit. Of course, he's possessive about his stuff, so if you try taking his shit without asking him, you're gonna get a phone call. Where's my stuff? Let's meet. Let's meet. Just want to talk to you about, aka I wanna smash your face. And that's the thing, right? Chill. But he's very giving. If he cares, he's gonna give it to you. So that's the experience I have with him. I always had most generous person. So I don't like when people are like, oh, SP must mean the person is selfish. No, in fact, I think for many SP types, they show that they care by even giving you some of that materialism, some of that's the stuff that's so dear and important to them. They will give it to you, because that might be a way to show that they care about you. So I wouldn't just say SP people are inherently selfish. I mean, why would they be more selfish than sexual types who are self-obsessed about their own intensity? Isn't that selfish? Like I don't think you could make such sweeping generalizations and judgments about the instinct. That's my opinion. I mean, Ring can give his own.
I think you explained it extremely well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I mean, dude, even the social, which by the way is like the most, it would seem like the least selfish, is fucking still selfish. It's just, you have to look beyond that, like, oh, they're doing this for people, they're not selfish. Yeah, you're kind of looking at the superficial picture here. But yeah, okay. Going further. Rust, I don't care what you think, but Dominic Toretto has to be SP7.
Because the family?
No, I'm shocked that you even suggested SP7. For Dominic Toretto, the guy who's all about gut and who's just about family, like scheming zero, Machiavellianism zero, intellectualism zero. Oh, I don't like it. I'm angry. I'm gonna beat this guy up. Like, no, like this is not an SP7.
With typology.
How can sexual tool grow intellectually? Listen, Lotan. By, okay, there are two like answers here. One answer is you should just kind of not act on your emotions, or understand that emotions, just have that mindset. Emotions are the most important, and you need to do emotions. No. Cut that shit out. Cut that shit straight out. Emotions have their place, but they ain't the most important. In fact, how many people do stupid shit because of emotions? How often do you see someone acting hysterical or dumb because they're emotional? In fact, I used to always believe that most dumb decisions in life are done because of emotions. So I genuinely think change your mindset and the way you view emotionality. Understand that there is a place for it. By just placing everything on your emotionality, on deep emotion, oh my god, passion, no, that's not gonna fucking work. It's not gonna work. Once you do that, you will give room for rationality. You'll give room for, again, logical thinking. Because you're going to think, okay, I might feel that way, but I need to think. What's the rational thinking process here? So that's one. But second one, to grow intellectuality, be inquisitive. Open a book. Learn stuff. That's it. That's the only thing I can tell you. There's no... it's like just be more interested in stuff. Explore stuff that interests you, learn new things, and gain more knowledge so that you can be a sexual too with a lot of knowledge. And that's the... you know the answer already to this question because the answer to it was right there, Gain knowledge. That's the answer. Do you must be focused on health and financial to be SP instinct? Ring, what do you think?
Health, yes, to an extent. Financial, yes, to an extent. In fact, take everything you know that encompasses a self-preservation instinct and think that you probably have to fit at least like 75 to 80% of that. Does it have to be everything?
No.
No.
Yep.
But it has to be a large portion, or you should consider maybe there's better options than the other instincts.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I think, do I have to obsess about my health? No. Right? It's like one thing. But look at, if I list like 15 traits from the SP and you don't fit that health thing or some other stuff, that doesn't mean you're not it. Now, if you don't fit majority of it, that's a problem, right? And the reason why we're saying this is because it depends on the type. And an SP5 might be a bit different than an SP4 here, right? So we are looking differently. The different types handle health and handle security a bit differently, right? But SP is SP, so that kind of safety, their own space, their own boundaries, their own lifestyle, their energy, all of that is still applicable because that's the self-preservation instinct. So yeah, okay, moving forward. What SP types sometimes seem like they're not SP because of their ambition?
Huh.
Maybe like an SP7, SP3?
SP3 for sure.
SP3, right? Yeah.
SP7 for sure.
SP8?
SP8 even at times, yeah.
Yeah.
Not SP9, not SP6, not SP5. Maybe SP2. If SP2 put it up there. Not SP4 generally. SP1 depending on what they subscribe to.
Yes, and he's Petra is saying you have people like SP3, people like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was never focused on making money. Yeah, but that's just assuming that like making money is just one one aspect of self-preservation. That's it. Like I know he was very hardworking individual who wanted to carve his path to have success, to be secure, taking care of his body. So focused on the well-being of his body, making great business deals. The guy was always securing his position in life, right? Always working really hard to have that kind of stability, security, getting into business, right? Then getting into, he got into movie making. Then he got into politics. I think it fits.
Yeah, I know. I just want to add, even in the self-preservation 3 section, in Vanadad, right? That's the E3 book. It was even said that a lot of self-preservation 3s are actually kind of well off. That they're not necessarily working always to have like strong resources. Security, in the way that the self-preservation 3 is defined as, is that it is that connection and acceptance into the group. They want to be a part of the group and be able to not dissimilar to the SP7, by the way. where that is where their security comes from, by being this intellectual, being this pragmatic, efficient, action-oriented problem solver, and having access to and being accepted into the group because you're dealing with like a mix between shame and conservation at the same time. So self-preservation threes often feel the most safe, like they're going to survive when they have a good position in the group based off of being a pragmatic individual. So SP3s often are well off and they're not just grinding just to have money. It's a little bit more complex than that.
Yeah, and you'll find SP3s who barely have any fucking resources. You'll find SP3s who are neglecting their health. Like, yeah. Okay, I'm just looking through all the questions. Sorry, guys, that it's taking so long. I'm sorry.
Let's rapid fire all of them. Let's do it. We'll give speed answers to all
All
of
right,
them.
speed answers.
Yeah, let's catch up. Let's catch up.
Can SXA be a loner? Yes, because
Yes.
there's nothing to indicate otherwise. In fact, Naranjo used many examples of social aids who were reserved, even described as quite reserved. 100%. SP blinded is just SI polar. No. It isn't, because it isn't. I understand what you're saying, but SI polar, you're probably thinking SP blind doesn't give a shit about materialism and well-being, must be SI polar. Well, SI polar cares deeply. So from that angle, that kind of doesn't work. You know, SI polar isn't just someone who ignores their well-being and health and internal sensations. They are very attuned to it and they're very rigid about it, very even stressed. So I know what you're saying. It can be the case, but doesn't necessarily mean so. Okay, going forward. How do severely traumatic life or death experiences affect the SP instinct? Okay. I want to speedrun this answer and tell you that we cannot answer this question. And I'll tell you why. Because how a traumatic life event affects somebody, not forget typology, but how it affects somebody depends on the individual at hand. And I can have two SP4s very different, like they're the same type, but went through different things in life, have different values. They're not identical human beings with identical like reactions. There's still difference there. They might even have different traumas. So there's no way to say how it would affect one. Genetics matter. Everything matters. How you process trauma is so genetically based too. You know, your reaction to it, your brain chemistry. That differs from person to person, regardless of their type. So I don't think we can say that here. Is there a book for the Enneagram 8? Listen, there's no real date, and this shit. I don't know if this shit's gonna come out before GTA 6 trailer 2. If GTA 6 trailer 2 comes out earlier than this shit, I wouldn't be surprised. I heard information from trusted sources that fuck me, what's wrong with the fucking English language? That the director of the new books being released, right? He claims that he hopes to have it done in few months. I don't know what few months is. Okay, let's say 2 months, 2 fucking months. Because I'm gonna be calling them, yo, and they're like, we don't speak English. No inglés, no, por favor, no inglés, something, right? And I don't give up. You know what I'm gonna do? Open the translator, talk to the translator. The translator is gonna tell me, and I'm gonna speed hack that shit, like flame them or something, you know. Okay. Anyway, let's go. How Farid is asking, how would you differentiate SX and SO instinct? I'm confident about SX instinct right now, but I want to know more about the distinction. Okay, Ring, that's yours.
Okay. SO instinct is very literally relationships. They don't necessarily need to have a intense feeling around them. There is a neurotic relationship with people, identity, communities, and even nations at large, and having this weird, unpleasant need to control relationships, needing to be in optimal places within your community, within your friend group. And if you're not in that, or something threatens your position in them, it makes you feel uncomfortable, like you're not accepted, like you don't belong. The word belongingness is used a lot with the social instinct. Now let's look at the sexual instinct. It's not necessarily the relationship itself. It's not definitely not communities or groups. It is whatever makes you feel alive. That feeling of being on top of a roller coaster before it falls and then going down the fucking roller coaster, that feeling of intensity, that thing that makes you feel like, wow, I'm so glad I'm living right now. That's the sexual instinct. It's the energy. It's the passion. It's being so in tune with that feeling of like it could be pleasure, it could even be frustration, but to feel something, to not feel the exact opposite of feeling like you're dead, like peace and calm. And this shit can get really boring for you. You need to be in anything that makes it's like magnetism. You need to be around the things that drive you, that draw you in. And if you're not by them, you need to possess them, and you need to own them. And that could be a person, that could be a relationship, that could easily be a hobby. You know,
Yeah.
and so there's a big difference. The social instinct is relationships in itself. The sexual instinct doesn't look at relationships; they look at the feeling that relationships give them, and it's always it's excitement intensity. So you're looking the difference between connection versus excitement is the big difference. Next question.
Next question.
Let's keep it
Low.
rolling.
There's so many fucking fuck.
Yeah, we could do it. We could do it. Let's keep it
Low
rolling.
Tan says, just want to say thank you for the work you're doing to help others grow. Oh, thank you. How can we
You
support
can
you?
answer that, Neil.
Listen, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to do anything. But it's interesting you mentioned the work, and because I'll just say it right here. I've been working on a course. I've been working on an Enneagram course, a like an actual course of Enneagram, the full guide to understand Enneagram fully, from the basics, organized, sequential, everything, right? To even offering and going deeper into, again, practical examples, how passions might manifest in practical situations. What basically, if you're down with the course, you would understand everything. You'd understand the whole, how the types work, how the fundamentals work. You can apply them to anything. That's my goal, right? But the thing I want to do with this is I want to also focus on transformation. I want to, in this course, focus on transformation. I want to focus on how can you improve, how can you get away from your neurosis, what steps you can do and take to step away from the difficulties that you have, obviously also outlining differences between different subtypes, explaining all subtypes in depth. Fuck everything. Like everything you need to know about Enneagram is gonna be in this course. It's an ambitious project, right? It's a very ambitious project. I've already been working today on it. Have few lessons done, talking about the history of Enneagram, why Enneagram is a good tool and why you should use it of different systems. There's gonna be in a video format. There's gonna be 7 hours of footage, maybe even 7 to 10 hours of footage. This is going to be like a long course, a 7-hour course of video footage, where at the end of the day you're going to know everything, and hopefully you will know what steps to take to grow. That's the course that I'm working on, and of course, so I'm going to be releasing that course now. And of course, guys, with that kind of fucking energy and time put into that shit ain't going to be free. This is a business, okay? But I'll make, it's not gonna be, I'm not gonna price it fucking £200, like some people do. Yeah.
That's funny.
Which, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Okay, scrolling. It's just a little advertisement just to tell you guys, I don't update people. So it's good to keep you guys updated because you guys are like the most loyal Rusted nationers. Okay, where was I? Oh, what are the similarities between the SP and the SX instinct?
Ooh.
That's a good question. That's why I picked it.
To me, I think most people actually confuse SO and SX the most.
True.
People generally don't confuse SP with SX
True.
or SO. But the
Happens, but not
similarities,
that often. Probably.
not really that often, no. Um, you gotta really think about where the overlap is. Like imagine the Venn diagram. One side you have someone who's obsessed with a very grounded approach to surviving because all the instincts are literally for survival. But it's the SP that makes it into this grounded pragmatic science of sorts, collecting resources, knowing the right people, being affiliated with people who can provide you protection. Where you have the SX instinct, which is more about your desire, that excitement, what draws you into magnetism. And you're going to see that SX and SPs be in a similar place if they can fulfill those criteria. An SP will probably hang out with a person who they find that can provide them a sense of security, where an SX would probably hang out with that same person because they provide them a sense of connection and engagement and an excitement. Do you see how, even though it's the same outcome, they're just friends with this person and they're close? It is because of different reasoning. So there's actually a lot of similarities between all the instincts, um, with what actions actually occur, but it's different based off of the intentions of said actions. So there you go.
Very good. Thank you.
Rapid fire.
I forgot to ask. What do you think about of tritype trifixes? Tritype to give you a quick response. Tritype no, tritype no. Mainly because there's no methodology. It's just bullshit descriptions online. It's goofy. No tritype. Trifix, yes. Trifix equals ichazo. Clear methodology, clear systematic value, so you can learn the system and type yourself. There's no such thing in trifix. In tritype, I mean. Okay, so if I was you, because tritype was the hardest thing for me to ever figure out, but trifix was fairly simple. Fairly simple. But with the tritype, I could justify every single combination. It really didn't matter. I could justify every heart and every head. Doesn't really matter. With trifix, no, because it was much more detailed and it goes in depth. So for sure, go with trifix. Would the social ignoring type be inherently unconcerned with people's opinions on them? Asks
Would a
Cosmid.
social ignoring type be
I
inherently
guess it means
concerned
like
with
not
people's
socially
opinions?
dominant.
No. That's not true. I know a lot of like social instinct blind people that engage with a lot of different groups. I would definitely say that if you disrespect somebody, it doesn't matter what instincts, they're just going to be upset.
Yeah.
I think that social instinct blind people can get frustrated because they don't want to invest time in creating a more optimal relationship with others, and they have to invest more into establishing, because what they want to do is, especially SP dominant social blinds, is they want to get in, they want to get their resources, they want to get their security, they want to get their feeling of whatever they need, and then get out. But if SP being in a social space, pissing somebody off, they start throwing shit at you, you're like, now I have to fix that relationship when I'm SO blind. Now it's problematic. It's like, oh, that's so annoying. And of course, there's one aspect of being disrespected, but the second aspect is to fix those type of things, you have to engage more outside of your core desire of being self-preservation. So no, I don't think any person is unconcerned with people's opinions. The most Sigma Chad person in your life who wipes off like disrespect and hatred off them like they're like bullets that don't hit them. Coping and lying. Everyone is affected by people's opinions because it's ingrained into being a human being. We're social animals, even if you're social blind. That's a different thing completely. So yeah,
That's
just want
not
to say
true.
that.
1V is a sigma, and this type does not care about what anyone says.
You're
And
so
it's
right.
and it's
Oh my
literally
god.
written in syntax of love that they don't care about anyone's opinion. Like they don't care about like public at all because they're first will, and of
Yeah.
course that makes sense with first will, right? Only third volition, like little bitch,
Yeah.
would care about that. So
Yeah.
missed
So
out.
I'm affected by people's opinions, so
Yeah,
I'm
you're
pretty sure I'm
third
third
volition
volition.
grind set.
Third
Cool for
volition.
you,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Cool.
and it frustrates me, so I'm pretty sure my defense mechanism is emotions, so 1E, 3V. Oh, I talk a lot, so 2L.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm SP blind in some systems,
It's
so
so funny
4F.
because yeah, like people's like I find it really funny because people's idea of sigma, right? They think I've seen people say that this 1V sigma cool, but when you read what 1V is really, it's because we associate 3V with like, oh, cringe. It's caring about people's opinions. It's getting butthurt. It's like silencing people. But then you realize that's 1V, and it's like it's not as fun anymore, right? It's not as fun and funny when the 1V is the cringe lord who's like silencing people who like in the book Syntax of Love, where they were silencing people they don't agree with and controlling the media and press completely. Like, that's not cool. What the fuck? Why is everyone forgetting about that, or caring what people say about them, as long as, come on, man. So the community has such a fucking distorted perception of who's cool, who's fucking not cool, and if you care about people's opinions, you're fun, you're 3V, you're weak. It's like, you cringe fucking twat. The type you jerk off to on the daily is literally this way. Okay? Like, it's cringe. It's fucking cringe. But how can I be surprised with the typology community? My God, man. My God. The typology community. How could they fail us, right? That's why I say, guys, listen. I'll be honest with you. My attitude to the typology community is, I'm not really with the typology community. I'm not. That's why some people might be like, oh, if a bot comes to me, he acts like a fucking bot, I'm gonna treat him like a bot. He's not part of my community. Is he part of my community? He ain't part of my community. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not about their community, like the typology community, like we all, no. You part of my community? Well, okay, well, sure, then yes. Sure. But if you ain't, different fucking conversation. And people outside of our community, many of them bots. Many of them are bots. I'm telling you, it's terrifying. I got passionate. There. I don't know what happened. I got passionate.
I like that about you. You get passionate.
Oh, okay, man. Okay, let me see.
Your face for that, bro. You were real.
Yeah. I know. I'm real. Fuck it. I feel it, so I feel it.
Yeah.
So nines are probably majority healthy. No. My friend, you'll be surprised. I will tell you that if you look at nines in your life, they're probably fucking coped into oblivion. And you don't know it. Oh, easygoing person. Yeah, look deeper. Completely numb to their own experience, completely numb to their own emotions, completely numb to what they truly want in life. Just going for life. I'm telling you, they ain't healthy. There's no such thing as that type, they're the most healthy. None of it exists. And the fact you think they're healthy kind of shows how this type masks, It seems healthy. No, it isn't. Ross got fed up, make his own book. Nah, it's not like, it's not, it's crazy? I had to make my own fucking resources on the neurotic need of the social aid. I had to sit down, write fucking biographies about different historical figures and what the fuck is happening here? Creating our own shit. But I'm not gonna obviously talk about create such elaborative descriptions about each subtype, or each type. That would be fucked, Jesus Christ, that would take 50-hour course. Bro's gonna be milking it. I would never listen. It's not about milking it. It's see, that's the thing with you motherfuckers. You think everything's for free, and I've been giving you motherfuckers everything for free, and that's the thing. When it comes to offering services, which by the way are transformative. It's not like, oh guys, I have a course, and this course will teach you to make 6 figures. And I'm just bullshitting. Just invest in crypto. Okay, sure. We're talking about shit that you will not get anywhere fucking else. We're talking about shit that is so high quality, you're not gonna get in anyone else. And, you're getting it for a value, right? Like you don't need to spend 5 years learning. You got it just like that, and you got it structured, right? So we live in a world where people have this kind of fucking weird relationship. If something is valuable, in my opinion, which means it offers you growth as a human being and improves your mental health and your lifestyle, that shit is more worth it than anything else on the market. And that's the truth, right? It's not like those like business fitness shit. No. This shit is more important. It helps people, so it's way more fucking important. So I wouldn't milk it. I wouldn't milk it. Again, for me, 7-hour course, 10-hour course, I don't know how to price it because I haven't thought about it, but maybe $70. Maybe for $70 you could get a fucking package. I definitely want to stick under $100 because I don't want to do that. And I feel like $70 for the amount of work. To be honest, that shit's underselling it. It is underselling it. If I ask people, yo, shit, should this shit be 70? They will tell me, fuck no, this shit shouldn't be 70. But me being fucking me, I'm gonna say, no, okay, yeah, let's give it to people like Farid. Fuck it, 70. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. We'll sacrifice some, but that's fine. Let them learn. Let them have access to the knowledge.
This is an example he means really well, right? But this example of a social sexual with a self-preservation blind. My guy here, I'm telling you honestly, will only want to make enough money with this so he can continue to do literally this, engage with new people, do Enneagram, do other typology, help people around him, and is just making enough money so he can keep doing that. You know? And he's not afraid of not surviving. He just wants to be able to have enough money to comfortably live, which I think that all of us can really respect.
I
But that's
mean,
an
I would.
example. He could probably get more money out of, selling it at a higher price, but he won't because to him, the community is more important. The people that
Yeah.
support him are more important. And
Yeah.
that's an example of self-preservation being blind. It's not a priority for him to profit. It's a priority just to survive enough so he can focus more on you guys.
And I feel like it's stupid because I should focus more on that, but I don't know. I try to I don't know. I try to be fair and shit like that. But of course, the truth is, I wanna. It's a fucking business. It's a business, So at the end of the day, I still will make sure that my money and my value, because you have to have self-respect. You cannot give stuff to everyone for free. Because no one else would. If it would in any other field, fitness, business, no one would do this shit for free. Nobody. And they would charge you $150, So I need to understand that. That's important to understand that, hey, listen, it's your fucking money. You have to value that shit. Just don't be giving everything to everyone. And people around me always told me, you give yourself too much to shit. You enjoy the community. You enjoy interacting. But that can backfire, So we'll get there. We'll fucking learn. Okay, let me see. Thank you for creating the community. We are all coming. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed this. Rust, you would make more money with OnlyFans. Well, Paul, if I wanted more money, I think I
Yeah,
probably
you're not
wouldn't be
listening.
here doing this shit. Realistically.
Not listening. He doesn't want money. He wants enough money to keep doing this comfortably. Y'all are not getting it.
Literally, yeah. I want money so I can survive. I want money so I can fucking do what I
Yeah,
really fucking have passion for. That's all I
not want
fucking give a
money
shit
for
about.
money's sake.
Do you type people, by the way? Spurden asking. Yes, I do. Indeed do type people. You can visit my coffee. It is on my channel. It is under every comment, every video in the comment section. I have a pin post. Check it out. It's quite affordable, very affordable, in fact. Harsh, is your Discord server members only? It is not members only. As Farid said, 6 months account, and that's it. There was a question. Is it normal for an SP7 to be SX and SO in instinctual variants?
An SP7 being SX or SO, it'll go either way. There's nothing saying it. one way or another. And you're gonna see Neuron Host team talk about it like that too. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, an SP7 with the SO instinct is more likely to focus on their image in the community. Oh, SP7 with a sexual instinct is more likely to chase after whatever the desires are at the moment, chasing after intensity. There's no one way or another. I don't think that it goes either way, you know? I don't think this works for any subtype, to be honest. I think there's an even share of both.
Harsh, by the way, if you want to access the server, it's again in the comment section. In the comment section, it's in the description. Always remember that. That's where you get the links. Voluntas saying Rusty community has to be the best typology community. I'm happy with the community we've built. Very happy, because what I truly feel proud about is not people distort who the fuck I am. We already know that. People distort like my desires. They distort everything, right? Like, oh yeah, he's just there to circle jerk. I don't give a fuck about that. Okay? What I am truly proud of is to be able to create a community where, the truth is, it's a community like no other. It's a community like no other. Everyone has kind of a certain relationship with one another, and it's special. It's powerful. And what other kind of like typology content creators have that? None of them. So yes, in my opinion, this community is the best. It's the best fucking community. It's the most base community. And we try to make it good. We try to promote the right values and shit. Because trying to make a community is not as easy as people think it is, especially if you want quality. Especially if you have other stuff to do. You need to deal with this YouTube, you need to deal with typing people, everything, life outside of that. So it's not the easiest. You need to have experience, you need to know how to manage an environment, but what you know is instill the right values into the environment and make sure to always never lose grip on it and force it. Don't let people in that are not good, because I've made many mistakes like this. Could this second instinct be another way to fulfill the primary? Like social SP, using SP to gain prestige, image, and
Absolutely.
relationships.
That's actually the way I was explaining it to be. Yeah. Your dominant instinct is like literally dominant. I don't know why I couldn't think of another word for that, but yeah, it's the one that you're hyper fixated on. You absolutely could. They give the example in the Social 7 book. The Social 7 with the self-preservation secondary instinct will focus a lot more on their skills. Those practical skills that would get them ahead and give them a general look of success and extraordinariness. But at the same time, it's always kind of like about that dominant instinct, and in this case, the social. So yes, that absolutely true, absolutely fucking true.
Paul is saying price it. Man, Paul, man, my instinct. You know what? I'm not gonna say it. But I had an instinctual reaction. But I'm not gonna say it. That's all I can say. I'm not gonna say it. But you know. Let's keep it at that. Is Rust AI generated? I mean, what kind of fucking questions are you asking me?
They figured it out, bro. Watch out. You're actually ChatGPT.
If I don't move enough, he's gonna think. No.
That's funny.
I'm joking. Will it be a video course or like a printed book? I'm thinking of a video course, mainly because videos are more engaging. And I'm gonna make a video. It's gonna be 5-10 minutes per episode. I'll try to make it concise. I'll try to again, I'm gonna focus a lot on application. Not just explain you a concept, but okay, like you know, what is a passion, right? and explain to you in a way where you understand. Like create a scenario with a type as an example. Basically fucking everything that it's super fucking simple. It's gonna be a video format. Maybe later if people want, I might turn it into like a, I don't know, like a printed book. Jesus, that's I'm not sure. Maybe. I mean, fuck. Imagine having a printed book. Maybe. BLU coin, yeah, that's the crypto scam. Yeah, makes perfect. I mean, BLU coin is dope. It's a dope idea. Like earn BLU coins. That's dope.
Blue coin.
Should a sexual dom go to a therapist? Oh god damn, you started heavy.
Yes.
You started heavy. I'm afraid that if I accept my current circumstances, it will kill the part of me that cares and I want to care.
Oh my god, here's an example. Here's a great example. In NVIDIA, sexual for section, it literally highlights, says directly at you that sexual fours become so much healthier in their 20s because they take on therapy. They decide at some point, I have to stop blaming others for my situation, and I have to start taking accountability for my feelings, my emotions, my actions, and other people cannot always be the reason why bad things happen to me. And they go to therapy and they get a lot better. This is literally stated in the sexual 4 book. So you sexual instinct of any Enneagram type, any Enneagram type person, any person in here in this chat, go get therapy, go book some time, find a therapist. That person doesn't work out, leave that therapist, go find another one, keep fishing until you can find someone who you can just dump everything and get some fucking help.
I will tell you this from my like journey through growth. In the past I would always say, why would I want to change? I like being me. Let's say even though it wasn't healthy, I like being me. You know, I liked it. Why? But I feel like there was a big part of it, a sense of losing yourself, like you losing what makes you you. Like you've built this kind of armor, or you've built this kind of survivability, or this attitude towards the world. You kind of take pride in it, you know, or and you know what therapy does. It changes your mind. It distorts things into more acceptable by society standards. And I was thinking like, what if it makes me weak, you know? What if the fucking therapy, like not therapy, but like what if like growth and shit's gonna make me soft? It's gonna make me fucking, now I will lose that edge, you know? I'm gonna lose that edge. And I'll be honest with you, it's the funniest shit ever, right? It made me more sensitive. That's the fucking irony of it. And ironically, I genuinely believe becoming more healthy made me more fucking sensitive. Which, if I knew that shit back then, I'd probably be like, hell no, I'm not gonna fucking do that. And it's like, how would that make you more sensitive? Well, that made me more sensitive and more empathetic towards myself, right? Like now I have more sympathy and more understanding for myself, for my childhood self, but because of that, I have more sensitivity when it comes to other people and the way they treat me and the way they interact with me. Now I'm more sensitive. Because when I was more unhealthy, I gave zero fucks. Like, it doesn't matter what you would do to me, then nothing would move me. I was that kind of person. You know, nothing. Of course, other than me being maybe angry at sometimes, but I was fucking unfazed. And it's like, now I'm healthy, now I do care. And because I care, now it sucks, right? Back then I didn't care. So, easy life, easy chilling. And it's like, okay, now, you know, you became more sensitive, more sentimental, more fucking, now you have a bit of a fucking soft spot, right? That you didn't have it before. You're not as rough as you were, you know, like, now you don't have the fucking killer instinct the same way you had it, you know, like if you just don't have it that much, and you know it, you sense it, you know, so... For me, that's what it was, but guess what? Now looking back, I think, dude, I like being me because I feel like I'm now super aware of everything. I'm super aware of myself. I became a wholer person, you know? Like, yeah, I just became so much more fucking aware and like a better version of myself. Even if it seems like to me at that point I was like, shit, I'm becoming soft. What the fuck's happening? I didn't give a shit about this ever. Now I do. What the fuck? But it's good to care. It's good to care about this shit because you're supposed to fucking give a shit about this stuff, right? Makes you a more like a it makes you a super fucking human in a sense, right? Now you are this like personality, but you don't struggle with vulnerability and the same things anymore, the same way. So you can navigate situations and people and it's like superpower. Now you are truly a more powerful fucking version of yourself, even though it didn't seem that way. So I'm fucking yapping. But the point is, you might think that this therapy shit's gonna change who you are. It might fucking distort. It will change. It might change some shit about you, but it's not gonna change who you are. It will change your thinking process, which your thinking process is gonna change some things about you. But trust me, in the end, it's gonna be for the better. You're gonna be a more OP version of yourself. Moment says, no, I have been thinking of looking into a typology course, but all the like official ones appear in like okay, so there's no Enneagram source, there's no Enneagram course, there's not a single one, not a single one. Maybe you will find some some people will, but how do you know they know shit? Are you sure they have the access to the subtype books? Are you sure that they have the access to the newest shit? Because I'm sure they don't. So even if you get their course, it's garbage. It's fucking trash. And you probably will need to pay double the money. What the fuck? And Nemeza, sorry Nemeza for the old reply, by the way. I just hopped on a stream to ask if the PY questionnaire is new. The question is new. I decided to, again, expand a bit more because I'm kind of like the only big channel that talks about PY. Okay, maybe people who don't know PY, what's my type in PY? I want to kind of get typed. Boom, that's your opportunity. Who's looking through it? Me, I'm looking through it. I did it with help of Ring. So if there's any kind of typing that's a bit more difficult, maybe I need feedback, I talk to Ring. Do as Social 5 suffers the same feeling of lacking resources?
Oh, absolutely.
As similar to SP5.
Yep. Because it's Avarice. Avarice is this innate feeling of not having the life essence, the things that others have, and feeling like you're going to be overwhelmed by life. And you got to be wondering, but how? There's a social instinct. It's the same way why all the shame types kind of feel like, well, they're SPs, but they kind of want acceptance and belonging anyway. Yeah, because that's exactly how it works. The hard types, no matter what subtype they are, they kind of come across like they're hard types. Same thing with the E5 and the E6 and the E7. They can come across fearful, and so it's all actually very much explained in the books as well. But Social 5, absolutely, they have that same type of fear. Maybe not as like pervasive, maybe as the SP5, but definitely they're all E5s at the end of the day. Enneagram fundamentalism.
So can 3V be sexual 1? No. There's not. Sexual 1 is one of the most 1V subtypes. Period. Top 4, top 5, most 1V. There's nothing FLVE about sexual 1 who feels right to impose his will on everyone else, to change the world as he wants it to do, as he wants it. Zero. Pure entitlement. Pure entitlement.
Hypothetically, if sexual 1 was a 3V, it would just be LFVE. It would not be FLVE by far. And no, sexual 1 is super first volition.
Moment, is it normal for twos to have this mindset where they know they're somewhat mentally ill, but they're too good to go to therapy? I mean, I would probably say it's not that weird. Like, oh, I'm mentally fucked. But
E2s? Absolutely.
I'm too good to go to therapy. That kind of sounds like false abundance and pride. So
E2s for sure. They're capability circle jerkers. You're telling me I'm so incapable, I'm so broken that I have to get someone to fix me? No, wow. I'm so capable. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. E2s, E7s, and E8s, maybe even E3s have the hardest time probably going trying to get therapy because they have so much fucking
Um,
self-pride.
the Nezo is asking Rusty, you kind of skipped the SP4 question twice. I genuinely don't see how SP4 is neurotic about self-preservation. What do you think, Ring?
It's so interesting because I actually explained it earlier, Denezo. I'm not sure if you were if you were in the stream earlier, but the self-preservation E4 works the same way as the self-preservation E3. Not exactly the same, but very similar, right? Where they seek recognition, they seek affection, they seek being unique and being indispensable and honoring their self ideal and enabling their position in like a group with others, they would provide them security. Same with the SP3. So it's like the mix of self preservation with like the heart desire of acceptance. Does that make sense? So it's SP4 is intrinsically a self preservation type. Intrinsically. Honestly, go ahead and read like the first two chapters of the SP4 and you wouldn't even be able to see this as a non-conservation type at all.
There you go. There you go. Um, where's the PI question? It's again on my coffee. Remember, everything related to typology, questionnaires, analysis, it's always on my coffee. And you can find my coffee in any video, recent video. That's it. Coffee, Rusted Typology. You find me. Paul says, yeah, Russ gives sexual 4 vibes. Yep, man, such sexual 4. Pure melancholy up in this motherfucker. Pure
A lot of you
self-hate.
suck
Yeah,
at
yeah.
typing.
Yep.
Even unironically, it's a bad take. It's not even funny.
Let me see. What else? Hmm. What type do you think represents the SP instinct the most? And I'm not sure if there's such a thing even. I mean, can there be such a thing? It seems subjective.
Yeah, it's super subjective.
Guys, wait for the questions. God damn.
Then you're gonna ask, what's the type that represents the social instinct the
Yeah.
most? And you'd be like, what? Is it two? Is it three? Is it
Yeah.
four? So what are you talking about? All the head types? No, it's bad.
What's the difference between SPA and Sexual 6 in terms of need for survival? Um, what do you think, Ring?
Oh man, these two types are very different from each other because
Yeah. It's not just.
when
Yeah.
yeah, like it's so much more complex than simply saying, well, both don't both of them want to survive? Like, yeah, the sexual six's problem is this fear of being um not being able to withstand the idea of fear itself and being overwhelmed by it, um, having that sort of weakness. So sexual sixes operate in a way that shows that they've overcome the idea of fear itself. SP8s are not looking in to show how unafraid they are of things. SP8s are afraid that they're going to revert back to that same life situation they had as a child where they didn't have anything. And they're always at the brink of like fucking death.
Yeah, so they
So what they
have a
do,
very more dominant, more direct, instinctual
yeah,
relationship with the world around them to
yeah, like
get
one of the
what they
things
need to satisfy themselves at all cost.
exactly. And a lot of
Intolerance
people,
of to frustration.
a lot of people don't even realize this. We're talking about a sexual instinct type with a sexual six. One of the fears of the sexual six is they're not going to be able to attract a mate because they're not like gendered correctly. They're not masculine enough. They're not unafraid enough. They don't have good parts to them that would want other people to be attracted to them to have a mate. No, but no one ever talks about that sexual six part. They always talk about fear itself.
I
Batman
feel
shit.
like the reason why is they don't talk about like the we made sexual 6 into something that's too close to the 8. So some people are always confused. You know, the way I view, I mean, we have again an SPA in our circle. I would never type him sexual 6. I never look at him like, he's kind of similar to sexual. Fucking no. I mean, this guy is fucking pure gut energy. There's no this over intellectualized individual. No, you know it, like very direct, very direct, very visceral, and can get ahead of himself when it comes to, if something happens, quick to escalate. Something happens, quick to react and jump on the shit without like having this more intellectualized approach to life and to in situations, more inhibited. Sexual 6s, most of them are probably fucking introverted as introverted nerds, you know? Like, they're not this Sigma fucking Batman. Like, no, they're more introverted, they're more inhibited, they're cautious, they're controlled. SPA fucking ain't that way, you know? So, at least the SPA I know, I'd never confuse him for fucking sexual 6.
Yeah, the SPA actually has such different worries than the sexual 6, and it makes sense. Different cores, different instinct. You know? Like, in a lot of ways, the SP8 and the SP9 have more in common.
Yep.
The sexual 6, I would actually say has more in common with the sexual 4 in times. Now, of
Yep.
course, this is don't take me out of context here, but
Yeah,
just,
don't
just
take it
you
literally.
gotta think about it. These are not actually like, if you go past like bravado and being like dominant people, you just like there's so much that are not actually similar about these people.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Oh, is social 8 and SLE still possible? Well, to me, obviously we don't know because the book is not dropped. Do I have any modern examples of the SLE social 8? I don't. You know, I don't know a single one. But the book will tell us if it's possible or if it isn't. I mean, if you read the social 8, it fits much better with the SCE. But you never know. I mean, the books might change it. The books might make it different, you know? And out of all of my predictions about the Enneagram 8 book, this is the one that I'm most curious about because I'm just the most curious about. I'm more lenient because, you know, it can go either way. Okay, let me see. What else? Fucking. What are the top 5 1V types for you? I saw you talk in Discord about how social 8 would be the most 1V after the book drops. I think, well, what I said about the 8, it was that it would be the most 1V out of all 8s. And it makes sense because, and when we say 1V, we're not talking about like fucking big dick Chadwick fucking energy. We're talking about syntax of love, first will. By the definition of syntax of love, it would be the most 1V according to, and it is the most similar to social 2. There's a lot of overlap. So yes, I do believe it's going to be the most 1V. And people will wake the fuck up because people keep saying, oh, social 2, can it be 2V? Can it fucking be 2V? It's the most 2V. It's not the fucking most 2V. You should be saying it's the most 1V. That's the whole fucking point, you know? But people don't understand first volition, and they don't understand social 8, so I understand why they think that. But if you look at actual fucking examples of them, as I did, fucking, I cannot fucking imagine second will for this type of fucking individual in any way, shape, or form. But to me, the top 5, I don't know. It's social 1, it's sexual 1, it's social 2. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
And you have like on the bottom, you have social 7 as a really low 1B type.
Yeah, I'm thinking
borderline.
I would put the fucking 1 course there, not the SP1, but sexual 1 and social 1 very up there. And social 8, we'll see. But it's to me, social 8 should be top 4. Easy. Top 4 easy. It might be top 2, might be fucking, who knows? Might be decapitation on sight. Who knows? We don't know until we read the book, but I think it's gonna be up there, you know? Sexual 8 is gonna be more Sigma, for sure. Like more 1V in a sense where like they don't give a fuck. They're like defy everything. They don't give a shit. While social 1 is gonna be more traditionally first will in the syntax of love context, you know? Can SP6 be LII? I mean, listen, You make a decision for yourself. Read the book. What do you think? Do you agree with this combination? If so, are you able to create an argument? Are you? If you're able to create an argument without nitpicking different characteristics and kind of singular traits, sure, I'm willing to. I'm open to it. I'm not like crazy against it. Viryu, I forgot about Viryu, by the way. Sorry, man. What's the difference between SXSO and SXSP with 8 core? Ring, what'd you think?
SXSO and SXSP with 8 core. So you're talking about a sexual instinct 8. So a sexual 8 that's either a social or a self-preservation. So it's a similar thing. The secondary subtype of the social is going to be an SX8 who is more likely to maintain relationships, who likes to have kind of like a stronger community image, where you see an SXSP8 be a little bit more pragmatic, be a bit more grounded, ensure some bit more stability in their lives. But generally speaking, this is not going to be very impactful in terms of the prime neurosis, which is the sexual orientation of the SX8. Effectively, you wouldn't be able to tell until you really like go into the nitty gritty about that person.
So the way I would look at it, right? Because I was actually recently looking at some real life examples. I had 2 real life examples, and I was kind of just talking to ChatGPT, feeding them sources, right, and trying to ask ChatGPT to type them, like with the instinctual variants. And one thing I've seen that made them different, right? It was a comparison between SOSX, SOSP, and the difference was pretty predictable. Is that the SOSP example was much more strategic, much less passionate, much more pragmatic, more practical, more to do again with like the right decisions. We need to. While the SOSX was more expansive, it was a kind of a warlord. You know, like it was kind of comparing a boss to a warlord, and the warlord was kind of he was a bandit, so he was like more passionate. He was more passionate. He was more visceral. He was more chaotic. He was, you know, so the difference was pretty big there because, as expected, the SOSP was just more pragmatic, more cold, more detached, more strategic, while the SOSX was just more passionate, more intense, you know, kind of like the king of. It was about a Brazilian bandit, you know, who was kind of going around fucking shit up, and he was the social sexual. So yes, okay, let's keep on going. What type was the most complex for to understand for you guys? The most complex. Fuck, I'm not sure. I mean, I feel like for me personally, I always struggled with the Enneagram 5, which is probably very predictable. But I was always struggling between the subtypes. All look the same to me. All look the same to me. Can't fucking tell the difference. A geek is a geek. In my book. So I don't know. Oh, one geek is in his basement. The other geek is sharing his knowledge. Like that's my distinction. So 5, yeah, I'm coped with 5. So, by the way, making this course is gonna be great because I'm forced to fucking make sure every information is on point, and I'm learning. I'm learning much. Fucking, I'm gonna by the end of the course, I myself will be a fucking double the expert. What do you think about this question, though, Ring? In your opinion?
People already know my answer to this. Usually, it's sexual 5 and social 7. Those are the 2 most complex to understand Enneagram subtypes in modern, by far.
I did the tier list which types I would identify, and the majority of the types were social types, and some were SP, sexual were the least. Yeah, I mean, you could. But it's a question of what the fuck. Like, are you using a round code? Then type yourself according to a round code. Like, you know, are you like which type, whatever type you are? SO fucking 7, SO SC, SO 3, SO 4, then SP 4, right? unless you're doing it separately, you know. But yeah, that's how I would kind of deal with it. Surprised SPS and SX didn't make it then. Well, it's not because SP8 and SX8 isn't 1V, but when you look at syntax of love, First Will is a person who's, to me, seemed much more socially oriented. Okay? And there are many examples, again, of a leader, right, who pays attention to how they're perceived. They're controlling the masses, they're controlling the perceptions. Um, it just seemed a person of control, that wants to have those high morals, and they want to have self-control. And do I think sexually when I read those things? No. Okay, no. Same for the SP8. That doesn't mean that they're not very 1V, but according to the syntax of love, they're not like fucking up there. What do you think, Ring? Did I explain this shit correctly?
Yeah, it might be fun to make like a 1v kind type of tier list, you know? But I'm thinking if you want to say like the upper echelon is definitely going to be social one, sexual one, social two. You can make an argument that social one might be a little bit lower than sexual one or social two, and that's not by a lot. And all the way at the bottom, social seven is probably the worst example of a 1v. And still being a 1v, of course, in Enneagram. I think that the SP8 is probably going to be close to second to last, you know? Because the SP8 is not trying to have that type of global impact. You're actually going to notice if you read Syntax of Love that first volition actually comes across very social instinct, a lot of this like needing to come across with a certain image,
Oh yeah.
needing to have control over the masses, being in control of organizations, groups, and definitely it can be like this person. It's not like they're unaffected by social criticism, social concerns. They actually get very frustrated when they get criticism from the social sphere. A lot of first volitions very much turn off on that idea and get really frustrated, and they are affected by those things. So I would say that there's a soft correlation between being a social instinct and being
Yeah,
a
pretty
first
soft
volition
correlation.
type.
I would agree completely,
Hmm.
because and that's where a lot of what I was talking about. 3V is when you care and you get and you want to, and 1V just doesn't care. No, that's you're thinking
I
you're
love that
thinking
shit.
of like a forced volition. Just no, like
No matter how many times we say this to
I
people,
know.
they'll still do it though. They'll still we can say anything right now. We can give them a full breakdown that 1V is actually kind of fragile just the way 3V is, and that is because they're aggressive volition, and no one is going to like take that to heart. They'll be like, "Oh, that makes sense." And then they'll type the nearest character who has like giga chat energy to be 1V again, and they'll do it over and over again. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, I feel like our community knows this already. I don't think they're circle jerking first volition, and they shouldn't. Uh, first placement of anything is cringe, which is funny because 1E, people say 1E is cringe. Oh wow, but they don't say that about 1V. But it's first placement, which is
Yep.
supposed to be very cringe in of itself. But no one really says. It's just
For-
the problem with it is that most motherfuckers in typology are small dick. They have a small fucking cock, and they're a bunch of males. That's the problem I'm seeing. I see
Real.
a lot of small dick energy, a lot of like weird little like teenage boys like coping. They never had a father, or their father was weak, which is kind of what happens. Weak father creates a weak son, and that's what happens, right? So, and you see this kind of weird idealization of certain types. Fucking oh Sigma, it's bullshit. It's such fucking cringe, and those people make me sick. Those people make me fucking cringe. Clearly never got beaten by the dad. Clearly never got smacked. And it shows. It fucking shows by the behavior that they showcase. The values that they have. It's clear that no one was in the fucking household. There was no father with fucking proper ball sack in the fucking household. You know? Um, complete just fucking attributing traits. I'm not even gonna listen. At this point, I'm gonna be a feminist because men make me fucking cringe. It's sad. It's fucking sad. How fucking things change, man. How fucking things change. Uh, 8 is when yelling. Yeah, that's based, yes. Sexual, social, blind.
The takes in here are amazing. I
No, just
love it.
Ring, do you want to answer this one?
SX versus SO blind. Oh man. I hope you tuned in like right now because we talked so much about this so far. So I'm gonna say you just tuned in right now. When you are blind in the social sphere, you tend to deprioritize concerns with relationships, community, and self-identity and acceptance. When you are blind in the sexual instinct, you tend to deprioritize energy, engagement, connection with the things that you want, that you desire, and focus generally on other things. And I'm gonna leave it at that because you might be better off just rewatching our podcast after we post it, and just you'll get a better idea.
Yeah. Just please do that. We're too exhausted at this point. We're too exhausted. What trait should you look for a person for if a person you're typing is neurotic at all? No, what the fuck? No, don't give them a 9 because even a 9 is neurotic. But if you mean like neurotic, what do you mean? Neurotic like emotionally turbulent, or you mean you don't see any neurosis? And let me tell you this: even when you are a healthy person, you will have neurosis. Always. The difference is that this I like as we talked about. I talked about this with Ring. It's more like you are in a state of a neurotic response. It's a state, right, that you are in because of external pressures, because of a certain reaction. You're locked in. You are locked in. It's your
Locked
neurotic.
in.
Yeah, and so you should see that. And even if you're healthy, you will showcase a bit of your bad tendencies. Not maybe severely, but you'll see that predisposition. That one guy who kind of tries to escape from his feelings by doing other stuff, and right, and daydreaming. Okay, some tendencies there. It doesn't have to be extreme, but you'll see a certain predisposition that if in your mind you dial that shit up to 100, this would look very extreme, right? And you can imagine. Like an 8, and like a neurotic, like a healthy 8, might have a moment when they're pressured. They might push back. They might become a bit more aggressive. And you know, it doesn't have to be extreme, but you'll see that kind of side to them, and you can maybe understand. Okay, if this person was really fucking unhealthy, and I dialed up all of those kind of bad predispositions to 100, how would that manifest? You know, so yeah. You even if you're healthy, you'll have those neurotic responses and neurotic states. 8s aren't that offensive around people who will fight back, because their attitude is a strategy to oppress. I feel like that's weird. I don't think 8s are going around like, my attitude is to oppress. I don't think that, like, you know, strategically, I'm gonna oppress this person, but I'm not gonna oppress them. I'm gonna oppress. I don't think it's strategic. This is not some Machiavellian type. You know, it's an instinctual type.
It's
And
exactly.
and it, this type, the whole point of the 8 is not. It's not oppression. It's not really oppression. It's, you know, it's. I mean, rebellion. Yeah, and
It's
yes,
counter oppression.
it is, and it's you can say that their desire is they can the lust can be about asserting themselves to push against things and to test themselves. Yes, but that doesn't necessarily mean oppression, you know. So I would not say that's the case, because again, it just depends what kind of the 8s I have experience with are not the type of people that would are about oppressing others, and they would definitely fuck your shit up, you know. If you tried them, or they would fuck your shit up 100%. You'd be, I'll feel bad for you, you know, if that was the case, because again, my SPA friend, he doesn't go around oppressing anyone, you know. He doesn't go around trying to subjugate people. He has his path, and as long as you don't fuck with him, it's fine. But if you do, trust me, it's not he's gonna make sure, oh, I don't want to mess with this guy, he might beat me up. This kind of thinking does not cross his mind. He'll fuck your shit up. You know, he will fuck your shit up. He's built like a tank, so he's gonna do it. But that doesn't mean that eights cannot be cowards. We know, we type Joffrey Baratheon from Games of Thrones as an 8, you know, so this has nothing to do with being a cowardly or anything. Depends on the specific 8 core, but there's no rule like, oh, they will just oppress people who are weak. No, you know, because look at history. I mean, look at those fucking like Genghis Khan. Did you think he was going around just making sure he only preys on the weak? He was a fucking warrior, you know, he was a fucking warlord. You have to go up against all kinds of fucking people and be brutal to do that, you know? So we have many examples of them who are people who are very tough. And of course, not everyone has to be some kind of fucking Superman, you know? But 8 is not just about oppression. It isn't about fucking oppression. I'm just reading, guys. I'm reading what you... sometimes what you guys fucking... Are you guys aware of the motives? No. I haven't heard of it. Ring, have you heard of it?
Heard of what exactly? Oh, motives and typologies. No.
Yeah, Paul, I've been seeing this attitude, this behavior on the fucking stream for a while now. Like, you know, Mr. Paul, and I'm trying to understand the motivation. Or like, I'm trying to understand the fucking attitude, the kind of constant fucking trolling, jokes. You know, like the memes, the meme center. People ask serious questions, he fucking responds in a meme. I don't fucking like that. I don't like that at all. Because that's one thing I really don't fucking like. Are jokers. When people want serious shit. If I wanted something really bad, right? I wanted an answer. I wanted to really know something, to learn, and someone came to me and started fucking joking. I would want to decapitate him on sight. Because there's nothing more fucking infuriating when you want to learn something and someone fucking takes a piss out of it. That, to me, that shit would fucking make me upset. That shit would make me fucking angry because I don't like it. So, Paul, you need to calm the fuck down, Paul. Okay? You need to calm your ass down and don't be, and take it more seriously. People ask you questions. I see the shit you're writing. Right? You need to check yourself. Because motherfucker's gonna get decapitated. And if you fuck up the chat for everyone else, you're a problem. Right? Once you start fucking up the chat for everyone else and other people are noticing, hey, he's a troll, he's trolling, that to me means there must be decapitation on site. So please just fucking relax. Please take people more seriously, right? If they ask serious questions, answer seriously. Don't fucking just, you know, fucking be normal. Motherfucker, be normal. How fucking hard is it to be fucking normal? I know it's the fucking internet. I know it's typology, so it's fucking hard to be normal. But let's just fucking be normal, guys. Fuck. As much as we possibly can, obviously. Because, you know, we are all mentally ill at the end of the day, so it is what it is. Okay, man, I can be more serious. Well, thank you. See, I appreciate you, Paul. Thank you so fucking much for being fucking open and not fucking around. I appreciate this. You know? Because, see, the thing, guys, with Paul, I've seen Paul around. He's very active. He's very active on streams. You know, like, That's the thing. That's why didn't just jump the gun, because I was trying to understand, because I've seen him around, chill guy. So I was like, what's going on, you know? That's why. But I appreciate this response. See, I fucking respect this type of fucking shit. No problem. Yo, Paul, don't worry about it. Thank you for taking it seriously, though, and thank you for... Yeah, I'm not saying don't have fun with the members. I'm not saying don't have fun with the people in the chat. No, not at all, you know? But, yeah. As long as they don't, you start doing it too much. That's all. But we will be closing the stream in 6 minutes, guys, okay? What is Ring's favorite meal? Ring, this is your time.
Oh my god, I love Tex-Mex. Love Tex-Mex. Like a bowl, like beans, rice, guac, fajitas. Oh my god, pico de gallo. Love that shit. Sour cream, cheese. Man, you make me hungry right now. It's salsa. Oh my god. Get the fuck out of here. Get me some Tex-Mex.
Fuck. Oh
June gets it. June gets it. Right, Theo? Oh god, I can go for a bowl right fucking
okay,
now.
why are you guys talking about food, dude? I did not eat for hours. When was the last time I did? 3-4 hours?
Yo,
Dude, I'm
four
hungry.
after
Oh my god. I would want to eat like oh my god. Pizza.
I'm not sure if my Europeans know it, but it's short for Mexican and Texan food. It's like that border food between Mexico and Texas.
So guys, okay, Mexican. What does that mean? I love a lot of meat. Like it has to be like caloric, intense with flavor and spicy. I think that makes sense, right?
Oh god, that sounds so good.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. You know what I like to do? I like making macaroni, like basic ass macaroni, but put hot sauce in that shit, dude. Oh
Rusted
god,
chicken. No. Listen, Theo Tube. I'll tell you this. I know why you think it's chicken, because I always said, and I'm not kidding. I had a period where I was eating chicken for a whole fucking month. I ate chicken at night. Whole fucking month. But preparing the chicken, it took so much fucking time. It took like fucking 1 hour. So we decided, fuck that, it's not gonna work. So we stopped doing the chicken. But oh my god, why would you mention that though?
We should answer it. It's why do siblings have different Enneagram types?
Wait. Oh yeah, but wait.
What?
I just have curiosity. Could be I mean, it's hard to say, to be honest. It's hard to say what you are. But I could see why, like superficially, like a 7. But it might not. You might not be. Let's answer this one, then because I know BD was asking this question twice. What's the difference between SX SP and SX SO with Enneagram 6? Ring.
Oh my god.
I know.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I know. It's pain.
SX what? SX. Okay, I see it now because you visualized it. The difference? The same thing. Self-preservation, secondary makes the subtype come across more grounded, more pragmatic, more oriented to survival. The social, more image-oriented, more connection-oriented. They want to have a better identity.
Maybe more geeky, much more intellectually fucking oriented, stuff like that,
Yeah. Yeah, and Daneza was asking, am I from Texas? No, I'm not from Texas. I'm born and raised in Queens, New York, actually. So, just like Spider-Man.
Why do siblings have different Enneagrams types? Ring.
That one, that's the one I really wanted to do. Because you have to think about it, the sibling experience is all kind of different. Because there's one thing that's missing from modern Enneagram, but is still there, that's just not put, is sibling/peer trauma. Having a sibling, your place in the family, how you relate to them, all that stuff actually affects what trauma you have. Being the second, being the first, being the third. Your parents don't have the same parental style with each child. And that's actually one of the common themes, eldest siblings are always like, well, I had our parents on hard mode, before they learned how to like be real parents and provide support, and now they don't have any rules on you. You have it easier as a younger sibling. That's just fucking true though. Like, and it's not necessarily easier or harder. I'll say that parents have a different way of interacting with each child. You have an interaction with your siblings that matter, and your experiences in the young age as well. As I mean, talk about your gender. There's so many different things. Like for example, I forgot which book it was, but there was an eldest sibling that was an SP, and then there was a younger sibling that was SO, and they had a 10-year age gap. And one of the reasons why it was explained is that the first child became SP because the family was struggling financially at the time. 10 years later, that wasn't much of a problem, so they didn't have a self-preservation instinct issue there. It became more about how they related in the family because now you had the SP child who was a lot more older, more pragmatic, making money. The social child was just like, oh man, where's my place in the family? I'm younger, you know. So it really depends. There's so much that goes into it. So yeah, that's how I'd answer that
You're
question.
super passionate about that topic. That's cool as fuck.
Yeah, because having siblings is
But I want to answer this
interesting.
guy.
Uh-huh.
Wait, fuck. It's fucking stupid shit.
What happened?
Just give me a second. I'm looking for his stuff.
Yeah, take your time.
I'm
I'll
SOS sex.
zone
I
out.
don't understand SP blind means. We talked about it in the stream, man. Sorry, that's why we
Yeah,
couldn't
I
go.
would just rewatch the
Just
stream at this point.
I'll tell you that listen, man, SP blindness, you have a relationship that's not spurgy about materialism, security, safety, money, stuff like that. So you're not fixated on such stuff. You have, in a sense, more balanced relationship, right? But again, it's you're not really if you're SOSX, that's where your attention lies, right? That is what your attention lies, and you will even sacrifice self-preservation, conservation stuff to fulfill those other needs. That's as simple as that. You know, it doesn't have to be crazy shit that you're risking your life and fucking doing crazy shit. No, it doesn't have to be. You know, but the point is that you're not fixated on SP. You're not really focused on it that much. That's it. That's all it means. I hope
Yeah,
that made sense. But we talked about those instincts a lot
neglectful even.
throughout the stream, by the way. So
Yeah,
it's 2 hour stream. I know it's hard, but I wanted to answer this.
we're about 2 hours. We're
Landela,
2 hours and 10 minutes now.
yeah, just give me one more minute. Can 1v2, can 3v2 like me become 1v in the process? No, because 1v has nothing to do with discipline and getting things done. You can have a first will who is not that disciplined, and they lay on the fucking couch all day, and they give zero fucks, and they're 1v. So it doesn't really. You cannot change your type, by the way. You know, you can become a more healthy version of it, but you cannot change it. It's 1v person. They're this way since birth. You know, the way they operate with their desires, their wants, the entitlement to have those wants fulfilled. That's there since they were kids. Same for you. You were that way with volition since you were young. You know. But guys, oh my God, Farid 142.16. Okay, thank you guys. That's cool. No, I found the timestamp. Perfect. Good job, man. Good job. But guys, listen. It's 2 hours. Okay, like it's been a lot. I'm hungry as hell. I am so hungry, so I'm gonna go eat. And we gonna go chill.
Salsa.
Maybe play some games and stuff. You know, relax after the stream. But again, the course, guys, I genuinely believe you will like it. And my perfectionistic ass, I know it's crazy, you know. Well, he's an 8 core, but he has a perfectionistic streak. Yes, I actually have a perfectionistic streak. So I'm gonna make a course, and I want to make it as perfect as possible. But fuck, dude, if I drop it, it will be mind blowing. Okay, so prepare for that shit. Maybe in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we can see the fucking course, because I'm gonna be grinding day and night. Anyway, what are you eating? I don't know. I want to eat maybe some fish sticks or something. It's kind of fucking late. It's kind of stupid idea, but fuck it. Okay, guys, we are out. We are chows and we are bouncins. Okay, so see you Sunday. Hopefully, if everything goes well. Okay,
Everything goes well. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Yeah. Bye bye.